They're trained professionals. They don't believe in myths. But what if I told you that highly experienced pilots, some with thousands of flight hours, have witnessed things in the sky that shouldn't exist? Objects defying gravity, traveling at impossible speeds, and vanishing into thin air. These aren't conspiracies. These are real encounters, captured by real pilots. Buckle up, because after this you may never look at the sky the same way again. Number 10. The impossible. Tic Tac. Chase, 2004. November 14th, 2004. A routine flight turns into a nightmare. A U.S. Navy pilot off the coast of San Diego spots an oval-shaped craft, pure white, like a Tic Tac candy. But it's moving. No wings, no engines, no exhaust, just hovering above the ocean. Then suddenly, it moves. Within a second, it shifts 60 miles away, a move so fast, it would crush a human pilot. As Commander David Fravor gets closer, the Tic Tac mirrors his every move. He banks left. It banks left. He dives. It dives. But then in the blink of an eye, poof, it vanishes. Radar operators lose track of it, but moments later, it reappears 80,000 feet above them. How did something with no visible propulsion defy the laws of physics? And here's the twist. The Pentagon confirmed this footage was real in 2020. If the government doesn't know what it is, then who does? Number 9. The UFO that mocked an airline pilot. 2017. It's a quiet evening over Arizona. A commercial pilot is cruising at 37,000 feet when suddenly, an object appears ahead. At first, it looks like another plane, but something is off. It has no lights, no windows, no wings. He radios air traffic control. Their response? We don't see anything on radar. That's when the object does something horrifying. It accelerates and flies directly above the cockpit. The pilot yells into the radio, "What the hell was that?" But here's the twist. Another pilot, flying 100 miles behind, reports seeing the same object just seconds later. That means the UFO traveled 100 miles in mere seconds. That's faster than any known aircraft on Earth. So, what was it? Number 8. The airport shutdown mystery. 2006. Chicago O'Hare International Airport. 2006. Hundreds of passengers are boarding flights when suddenly, airline employees look up and freeze in terror. A gigantic metallic disc is hovering right above gate C-17. It's completely silent, just floating there. A United Airlines pilot runs outside to see for himself. He stares in shock as the object starts spinning faster and faster, and then, without warning, shoots straight up. It vanishes through the clouds, leaving behind a perfect circular hole in the sky. Now here's the twist. The FAA refused to investigate. They brushed it off as weather. But ask yourself, what kind of weather leaves a perfect circular hole in the clouds? Wait, please, pay attention. Knowledge is power, and I'm giving it all to you. Now you really should subscribe. And yes, you must watch the full video too. Please. Let's resume. Number 7. The Alaskan Monster Ship, 1986. A Japan Airlines 747 cargo flight is traveling over Alaska when something massive appears beside them. At first, the crew thinks it's another plane, until they realize it's 4 times the size of a Boeing 747. This giant, dark, walnut-shaped craft begins following them. No engines, no markings, no sound. But here's where it gets terrifying. As the pilot tries to shake it off, the UFO keeps pace, matching every move. For 50 miles, it stalks them. The pilot radios air traffic control. They confirm there's something on radar. But it's not showing up as any known aircraft. Before military jets can reach the area, the UFO vanishes. And here's the kicker. Months later, the US government classifies the entire incident. Why? What did they find that we weren't allowed to know? Number 6. The UFO that broke every law of physics, 2021. A commercial pilot flying over the Pacific Ocean spots 3 glowing orbs in a perfect triangle formation. He watches in disbelief as they split apart, merge together, and then zip in different directions, faster than a bullet. The pilot reports it, and minutes later, 2 military jets appear out of nowhere, chasing the orbs. But before they can get close, the orbs shoot straight up into the sky and disappear. And here's the twist. The US government admitted they had no idea what these objects were. They weren't balloons. They weren't drones. They weren't even from any known country. So, where did they come from? Before we get to the top 5, I have to ask, are you enjoying this video? Then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because hitting your subscribe button can give me new motivation to work harder and succeed. Now, let's get into the 5 most terrifying UFO sightings ever recorded. Number 5. The vanishing lights over Alaska, 2020. A Boeing 747 cargo plane is on a routine flight over the vast frozen landscapes of Alaska when the pilots see something that shouldn't be there. At first, it's just one tiny light far in the distance, but then it splits into 2, then 4, then 6. Within seconds, the sky is filled with a formation of glowing orbs, moving in a synchronized pattern. The captain immediately radios air traffic control, but the response sends a chill down his spine. "We don't have any aircraft in your vicinity." Then, one of the lights moves toward them. It doesn't fly like a plane, helicopter, or drone. It glides, silent, smooth, and fast. It stops right next to their plane, matching their speed. The pilots stare in horror. There's no structure, no cockpit, no wings, just an orb of glowing light. Then, it happens. One by one, the lights blink out of existence, except for one. It suddenly shoots straight up into the sky at an impossible speed. The pilot's heart pounds. He checks the instruments. No signs of the lights, no radar returns. It's as if they were never there. Here's the twist. The pilots later checked satellite data from that night. It showed an unidentified energy source exactly where they saw the lights, but no aircraft. So, what did they see? And why does it seem like these things don't want to be detected? Number 4. The pilot who chased a UFO and never came back. 1978. Australia. 1978. Frederick Valentich, a 20-year-old pilot, is flying a small Cessna plane over the Bass Strait. It's a clear evening, perfect for flying. Then, he sees it. A metallic object is flying above him. At first, he assumes it's another plane, but it has no markings, no wings, and no sound. He radios Melbourne Air Traffic Control. "I see an aircraft above me. It's not a plane." Air Traffic Control asks him to describe it. His next words send a shiver through the radio operator's spine. "It's hovering. It's just above me, and it's not an aircraft." Then, a loud metallic scraping noise fills the radio, and the transmission cuts out. Rescue teams searched for weeks. No wreckage, no sign of the plane, no body. And here's the chilling twist. Hours later, multiple witnesses reported seeing a glowing, green light in the sky, moving erratically before shooting straight into space. Could this mean that Frederick didn't crash, but was taken? Number 3. The Battle of Los Angeles, 1942. The UFO that started a war. World War II is raging. It's 1942, and tensions in the US are at an all-time high. Then, in the middle of the night, sirens blare across Los Angeles. A massive, unknown object is hovering over the city. The military doesn't hesitate. They open fire. 1,400 anti-aircraft shells are launched at the mysterious craft. But nothing happens. It doesn't explode. It doesn't fall. It just floats. For hours, the city is in chaos. The object moves slowly across the skyline, completely untouched by the gunfire. Then, just before sunrise, it vanishes. Here's the mind-blowing part. Newspaper reports the next day called it an enemy attack. But no enemy aircraft were ever found. No wreckage. No debris. Nothing. Even crazier? Decades later, declassified government documents revealed that the military had no idea what they were shooting at. Was it a UFO? A secret experiment? Or something else entirely? Number 2. The USS Nimitz Incident, 2004. The video. the US military didn't want you to see. The US Navy's most advanced warship, the USS Nimitz, is conducting training exercises off the coast of California when their radars pick up an unidentified object. The speed? Hypersonic. The altitude? Rapidly shifting. The motion? Impossible. 2 fighter jets are scrambled to intercept. The pilots spot it. A white, tic-tac-shaped craft, hovering just above the ocean. As soon as they lock onto it, it moves. Not forward. Not backward. It teleports. 60 miles away, in less than a second. The pilots try to chase it, but it's pointless. It moves at hypersonic speeds with no visible propulsion, no wings, and no heat signature. Here's the twist. The entire encounter was filmed. The footage leaked in 2017, and after pressure from the public, the Pentagon confirmed it was real. And yet, they still won't say what it was. Number 1. The UFO that was bigger than Earth itself, 1991. This is the most terrifying, largest UFO sighting ever recorded. In 1991, a Russian cosmonaut aboard the Mir space station was looking down at Earth when he saw something unbelievable. A gigantic, glowing object was emerging from behind the Earth's horizon. At first, he thought it was the sun, but it was too big, too bright, and worst of all, it was moving. The cosmonaut grabbed a camera and filmed the object. It orbited Earth for nearly a full minute before suddenly shooting off into deep space. Here's the terrifying part. NASA scientists later analyzed the footage and determined the object was at least 3 times larger than Earth. What kind of craft is that big? What could be inside it? And more importantly, what was it doing so close to Earth? We've seen pilots vanish, objects defy physics, and the largest UFO ever recorded. But now I have to ask, what do you believe? Which of these encounters shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more mind-blowing top 10 lists from around the world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps me create more content, and your support gives me the motivation to work harder and succeed. Until next time, keep watching the skies.